Good afternoon, ambassadors. I wanted to take a few minutes to explain to you guys how to do the hit it trick. The hit it trick involves the dog hitting all four paws against the wall like this. Pretty awesome, right? So the first thing you're going to need is a 3 foot by 4 foot piece of plywood. I prefer 3/4 inch thick plywood, nothing thin and flimsy. The dog's going to hit his feet onto that to begin with. So we want something that's nice and solid and won't bend too much when we push on it. So I've got a 3/4 inch thick piece of plywood, and that's what we're going to use to get started. You also want to have some really high incentive treats or a toy that your dog is very interested in, like a ball or a rope. All right, let's begin. So the first thing you want to do is take your piece of 3/4 inch thick plywood and lay it against the side of a very solid wall. In my case, I use the side of my house. That way the dog lands on the grass. So you want to pick a place where there's a wall and the dog can jump and his feet will land on the grass so that nobody gets hurt. Okay? So we want to start by leaning our board onto the house. You can certainly use a bucket or something underneath as a support. And we want this to lean onto the house so the dog can jump on it. Okay? We're going to take our treat. Here. We're going to lure the dog over, and you're going to take your knee and lean on the board. Okay, so I'm kneeling on the board with my right knee. I've got the treat in my right hand. Come on. There we go. And I just ask the dog to go over my knee. The first few times you do this, the dog is pretty clumsy. That's okay. We're going to get it right as we go. Ouch. He's motivated. So put my knee on that board. Yes, good job. So I want you to take your knee and lean against the board like this. So put your knee on the board, use a high incentive treat that the dog is very interested in, and lure the dog up over your knee. Yes, good boy. As soon as he gets to the other side, he gets that treat. All right? I've got another treat here, bringing him around. Good job. Luring with a little treat up over my knee. Ready? Hit it. Good boy. Good boy. So using a treat here to kind of lure him back around. There we go. Good job. Hit it. Good boy. And we'll repeat this as many times as necessary until the dog starts to get it. That hit it means jump up over my knee. All right, let's go on to the next. So the next step is to raise the board a little bit, to put it at a different angle. So instead of it being a subtle ramp, now it's more leaned up against the house. All right? We're still going to use that knee that we started with, and we're still going to lean up against the board to begin with and lure the dog over the knee. Okay? Ready? Hit it. Good boy. If your dog struggles with this, try a few times. If they don't get it, put the board back a little bit lower. You don't have to go quite as fast as I did here, but for the sake of the video, it makes it easier for us. You can certainly go back down if your dog is confused. Okay? So we're going to try that again. Lean that knee up against the board. This again is why we need that 3/4 inch plywood. We don't want it to be flimsy. Use your lure here. Hit it. Good boy. Good job. This is a trick that you want to teach when the dog has lots of energy. You don't want to do this after a walk because the dog burns out pretty fast. So as we go along here, I'm going to stop leaning on the board, but I'm going to put my knee towards the board. All right? So let's try that. Hit it. Yes. If the dog is at all confused, take it back a step. That's okay. So I'm slowly going to kind of pull my knee away from the board. It's going to be not on the board, but like 1.5 feet away from the board. Come over here, buddy. Hit it. Yes, good job. And over time, you slowly start to bring your leg back. If at any point your dog struggles, just go back a step, let him get it right a few times, and then move on again. The goal is to put the board higher and higher. Good. And take your leg further and further away over time with plenty of repetitions. Okay? Come here. I'm trying to back him up so he can get plenty of running start. Hit it. Yes. Good boy. I'm skipping ahead because this dog already knows this. All right? Here. Goose, hit it. Yes. So you can see that leaning towards the board is now part of the cue for the dog. Gives him a target on where to jump over, and eventually we're going to eliminate the board. Okay? Goose, hit it. Yes, good job. Good job. Goose. Bloopers. He's fine. Try again. Hit it. That's better. Good boy. And then, of course, we can take the board away. And this could take days. It could take weeks. It depends on how often you do your homework and how motivated your dog is to do this. Keep in mind your dog's physical condition. This dog is very physically fit. He doesn't have any problems with his knees or his hips. Hit it. Try again. Eliminating the board definitely creates a little bit of confusion. Ready? Hit it. Try again. Hit it. Yes. There you go. Good boy. And that's the hit it trick. Hope you have fun, guys. Yes. Good boy. Hit it. Yes. Good boy.